Man, it's low-key lockdown, and we back here with another fight off that UFC 304 card, man, and it is Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. This is a funny-ass fight. This probably will be an entertaining-ass fight. You know, it's not that many, real good fights on this card, considering that Leon Edwards and Bilal Muhammad are the, headliners of this card. They're supposed to be the most exciting part about this card, but, they're very boring in their fighting styles. But, they can fight, though, but it's good. Anyways, man, Bobby Green and Paddy Pimblett. Bobby Green is a veteran. He's been around the sport for a long time, long time in service in the UFC and Strikeforce, etc., etc. Paddy Pimblett, a newcomer, a quote-unquote prospect, etc. Last win against Tony Ferguson. Bobby Green's last win against Jim Miller. I mean, this is an interesting matchup for a lot of reasons because, we're trying to find out where Paddy Pimblett actually is as far as skill level. And we know that he's not very high as far as skill level, but we know that he's not the lowest in the world type shit, but he's definitely not the best, bro. I mean, he has a lot of things he needs to work on before he becomes, a really high-ranking prospect in my book, at least, man. For one, let's get into the breakdown of the breakdown, man. For one, Bobby Green stands at a height of 5'10", so does Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett comes in with the slight reach advantage in 2 inches to Bobby Green's 71-inch reach. He has a 73-inch reach. He's obviously the younger fighter, the fresher fighter. Momentum plays in his favor right now. The world is his oyster. But, Bobby Green is a very hard task for a young man in Paddy Pimblett that hasn't had the, the time put in the years of experience like how Bobby Green has. I'm not going to say that Bobby Green is, elite level fighter, but he's definitely that level right before elite. Right before elite, he's that level like where Tony Ferguson and like Michael Chandler lay at. He's like that level right there, somewhere in there, like Jalen Turner's and shit. He's in that mix of people. Bobby Green's last fight was very good. He looked excellent in his last fight. It was a complete shutout. He beat the shit out of Jim Miller. UFC 300. Honestly, it should have been a bonus winning performance. But his fight before that, he got KO'd by, Jalen Turner. He's kind of chinny, but he has excellent sharp boxing, excellent fucking footwork and head movement. Defense isn't the best, despite the fact that he has some of the best head movement, because he never, ever puts his hands up. And he likes to showboat. That's the reasons why his defense isn't that good, even though he has excellent head movement and weird, awkward style with, hands low, those punches in strange, angles and variation of strikes be kind of weird. His teeps are kind of strange, too. But, yeah, he's got a lot to him, crisp boxing, excellent head movement, has KO power, of course, he has some okay, grappling not the best, but, he can grapple. We've seen him submit Tony Ferguson, and, he grew up wrestling, so he should just have some grappling in his background, you would think, right? But Bobby Green is more so an entertainer, man. He likes to go out there and entertain. He's fought against a very high-level competition. Rafael Fiziev, the Dustin Poiriers. He's fought against the fucking Edson Barbosas. Fought against a lot of guys. And he's competed very well in a lot of those fights, actually, which is kind of strange, Seems like he competes better in fights that he's not supposed to win, even though he ends up getting knocked the fuck out. Usually knocked the fuck out. He competes pretty good in those fights, actually. That shit is crazy. But, man, Paddy Pimblett. Let's talk about Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett is a phenomenal grappler. His striking is the sloppiest I've seen in a minute, bro. He leaves a lot of opportunities. He backs out with his chin straight up. He comes in. All of his offense leaves fucking counters for everybody. Anybody that fights him, there's counters wide open for this guy. He's just kind of a brawler, but like a brawler who doesn't know how to keep himself protected. He has a fucking dome piece on him. Let's just say he's got a chin, but my man, goddamn, you cannot be fighting with your goddamn hands so low and your chin straight pointed out directly towards your opponent. He's not even doing that shit on purpose. He's doing it because he's fatigued, and he's fatigued because he cuts so much weight. And I don't know why, man. He's never had good cardio. His cardio is dog shit. His defense is dog shit. His striking is okay. It's explosive. He has some decent striking, but it's definitely not top level, high level, nothing. But what he does have going for him is the grappling. He has very high level grappling, excellent jiu-jitsu, some decent wrestling in his kit, submission ability, lots of weird submissions. Yeah, he can find a submission. He can find a submission now. I'll give him that. And that tends to be the weakness towards, you know, strikers. And that's kind of, that's why this fight is confusing me so much. Bobby Green outclasses him on the feet, but Paddy really does outclass him on the ground. Bobby Green has some decent takedown defense. You know, his hands being low kind of helps with that. But it's not the best in the world. We see what happens with him against most grapplers. Of course, he beat Jared Gordon. But Jared Gordon, I mean, well, Paddy Pimblett almost lost to Jared Gordon. You know, Paddy Pimblett has had a lot of close fights with guys that he's supposed to beat, like Cans, to be honest. And that's kind of what's throwing me off about him. If he has such a great wrestling jiu-jitsu kit and all of this grappling that he has, why is he even, like, his fight IQ is questionable, dude. And his stance is weird. He doesn't really do too good off his back foot. Let me stop. It sounds like I'm talking shit about him. I'm not, but I'm just noticing as I'm trying to find, I was trying to find the styles for these two fighters in these videos I was watching. I watched all of their fights and I was just like, damn, Paddy, what the fuck? How the fuck did you make it this far without getting knocked out? He got a mean ass chin on him. But anyways, man, Bobby Green holds the power advantage, the speed advantage, the striking advantage. Grappling advantage goes to Paddy Pimblett. Chin goes to Paddy Pimblett for sure. That's the thing about Bobby Green. Bobby Green is definitely chinny. He could definitely be knocked out. And Paddy Pimblett is a very young, strong, very, very big man. You know, he's younger. He's got the momentum on his side. He's explosive. You know, he'll go in there and try. He'll go for it. But Bobby Green is a good counter striker. And Paddy Pimblett is not a good offensive striker when it comes to defense, at least. Yeah, he definitely leaves a lot of counter opportunities, and Bobby Green is one of those guys that will definitely take full advantage of that. Bobby Green has beat higher level competition than Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett hasn't beat higher level competition than Bobby. So, you know, Bobby doesn't have anything to prove. Paddy does. Paddy has to beat Bobby. But 9 times out of 10, nah, damn, see, that's the fucked up part about it. If Paddy wasn't such a grappler, I would put Bobby to beat him easily, but I feel like for some reason he's just going to go out there and try to wrestle fuck Bobby Green. But Bobby Green is pretty decent at getting back to his feet, but I just feel like that's what's going to happen. But if Paddy Pimblett can't get takedowns in this fight, Bobby Green out masterclasses him. If he can't get takedowns in this fight, Bobby Green absolutely masterclasses him, and it's not even, you know, it's going to be close, but it's not even going to be fair, bro. So with that being said, man, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see next, man. I feel like Bobby Green wins this fight, but I say that it's a 60-40 in favor of Bobby Green just because of the body of work and experience and adversity he's faced before, the level of strikers that he's faced before, the challenges that he has faced in his career. But Paddy Pimblett also has that grappling in his kit, those submissions, and, you know, all of that stuff is always very dangerous. So, you know, you can never count Paddy Pimblett completely out. But with that being said, man, like, comment, subscribe, and we out, man.